Why do I get the feeling that we've picked up another pathetic life form?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Guys, we have the all powerful Endall Beall here with us today. Go check out his stuff in the video description, his YouTube channel. It's must watch content if you like GAC. And you guys saw him when we did our 5v5 mini series right before last 5v5 season. He's here again, wanted to do another one with me for 3v3. So, and I'll thank you so much for coming on with me, man. This is going to be fun.
Hey man, yeah, absolutely. I love these collabs and really enjoy doing these the 5v5 offense and defense videos. So looking forward to doing the same thing for 3v3 as well, especially given the amount of changes that have happened over the last season. I think we've got some pretty exciting conversations ahead of us.
Yeah, I think so, man. Like Kat is going to be interesting. Like she's the biggest piece, but I mean Kenobi. We didn't have Kenobi really last 3v3 season.
Yeah, just for a couple of weeks, I think, and most people didn't even have the ultimate. So this time it's going to be, and now that people have had a chance to play around with Kenobi and Cat, this 3v3 is going to be interesting for that reason.
It is. That being said, guys, we are doing teams that do not include Galactic Legends because we want to make them as approachable to everyone as possible. And if you want to see how we're using our Galactic Legends, then watch our channels. That's simple as that. I mean, and we have a ton of videos from last 3v3 season that you can go and watch as well. We didn't take them down or something. So, that being said, we're going to this time be talking about offensive teams, top, I don't know, 15 or 16 teams on offense. And honestly, a lot of these can actually just stay on defense too. And we'll be end up using them that way. But I feel like these are the best ish teams on offense. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've got now that 3v3 is alternating with 5v5, we've had a lot of chance to play around with these offensive teams or like every alternate season, and I think we've more or less got into a rhythm of really good teams that we know work well on offense and not only are effective but also can generate tons of consistent banners on offense.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So we have got bounty hunters, and they're in a kind of an interesting place right now because Django, and you'll see in our defensive tab in the next video, Django is really great on defense actually with separatists, and so like if you could put him there, and then how do you use the bounty hunters? I personally, I've been putting Bosk on defense a little bit, but first let's cover this Aura team. Aura lead is one of those leads I never really, she wasn't, it wasn't on my radar for a long time until there was one time I was like desperate to, I was like, man, if I could just get my contract and Mando can kill this thing, so who has the best contract? And I was reading through them, and Aura, I was like, wow, all you have to be is buffed. Like, we could do this. This is super easy to get her contract. So, this team works for me. Endall, do you use this Aura team?
My aura is only G10, but I do use like if it's a timeout weak team with not much damage, then I definitely love the aura grief Mando team. For more heavier teams like the B1, B2, and General Grievous team, for example, I love using Boss, Grief, and Mando just to get the contract really early and then just annihilate Grievous right away. Yeah, I mean, bounty hunters are definitely these two teams that are showing these characters are definitely great on offense for a variety of reasons in 3v3. They can ignore taunt, they can, they regenerate protection on death, especially Boba and Django. They prevent revives, which is great against those new squads and the Night Sister squads. So they've got tons of qualities which really make them perfect for offense in 3v3.
Oh, really? Seriously? So, I mean, the reason we built this like Bosk team is if you have Django available, like the in my opinion, this Bosk team is. I mean, it's not the most powerful, obviously, but man, it can do so much crazy stuff. Like it's got good banner regeneration, like you said. You have. And then the Fets ignore taunt, and in 3v3, taunt is way more important. And so, having the ability to ignore taunt and then cause permanent death with both Django and Boba in their different ways, having a tank that doesn't lose his taunt over some frivolous matter. He'll lose it eventually, but like this team, two different versions of healing immunity. That the list goes on. It's in 3v3. It's one of the best multi-tool teams, and it killed me to put Django on defense, but that's also been good. And then I put Bosk with Boba and some random other bounty hunter on defense. Sometimes you get
And
a hold.
just looking at that R8 Boba, I have a feeling that Boba Fett can probably solo quite a few weaker teams at the back for a cool 55, 56 banners. Very easily 56. There was a time I remember in Galactic War, people used to, well, I used to do this. I used to take my Boba Fett and then just solo the whole Galactic War just like that. With R8, I think it's definitely possible to do dirty things on offense.
Absolutely, and his uh, his leadership is actually way better than a lot of people will give him credit for. Like all the extra 50%, all allies, so it doesn't even have to be bounty hunters, gain 50% critical damage and extra critical chance, and then bounty hunters gain extra stuff. But like I've always wondered why we don't use Boba on defense more. Like it seems like, or on offense, like
Yeah,
on as the lead more. It seems like we should actually.
yeah,
He's has untapped potential there.
definitely.
All right, so next we have troopers, and I know that Klesso sometimes uses this team to take out what, like the Commander Luke team. You can do all sorts of things. I mean, you, frankly, like Dark Trooper just kills everything. You just need a vehicle to deliver him, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many teams that this can just chew through that it's not even funny. It's amazing to have an offense. Really good team that you can use to if you want to clear the front zone without expending something too expensive. This is a great flexible team to do that as well.
Right. Well, and so 3v3, you want to pay attention to efficiency because you're facing 15 other teams potentially if you're in Division 1, less obviously if you're in Division 2 or lower, but that's a lot of potential for if you get a 51 every single time, like you're dropping 45 banners. That's a ton of banners over the long term. Like that's two losses. So having good banners, efficient teams. I mean, that's you and I both like that aspect of this too. So now this is one that people are so stuck on defense doing this. They want to put the Bando team on defense, and and then people just kill it with Geos, sometimes for 54. And I've never met a team like this Bando team that my like pretty half-assed Geos couldn't just wipe out for at least 51, if not 54.
Yeah, in 3v3, in 5v5 it's a different thing, but in
Sure.
3v3 I think this team definitely belongs on offense. Like you said, Geos very easily pick apart this team. I've punched up with Geos against this team in the past. And ever since then I've been keeping these guys on offense. And on offense these guys are so flexible. I usually like to take them against first order, those crew, Kylo, Sith Trooper teams, or I sometimes like to take them against separatist squads with Newt, Dooku, even Nest in there. And these guys always give me really good banners against those kind of tricky squads which are meant to be banner stealing.
Yeah, I think they're great. The offense or the healing immunity from two different places. You have the obvious healing immunity from Bando, and then Queel has shock, and then there's dots from IG. It's a fiasco, man. To face this or to use this team on offense. I'm just like, I guess I'll just button mash. I don't even know what's going on, but people are disappearing,
Yeah.
and the thing I love most about it though, man, I swear, like I get too much pleasure out of this, but it's like Dooku's hiding, and I'm like, I have whistling birds ready, and you can just target him while he's in stealth. He's like, you can't see me, and Bando's like, bam, just takes
Yeah.
him
Well,
out.
this is such a great anti-Dooku team. I mean, for one reason, they ignore taunt or stealth, like you mentioned. Second
Yeah,
is, these guys are not affected by debuffs at all. Mando can't be ability blocked by Dooku. IG-11 and Quill can't be stunned because they dispel all the debuffs. And Dooku just melts in front of them. So this is definitely a great anti-Dooku, anti-Newt, anti-crew team.
Absolutely. Really love that team on offense. 54 banners usually. Now, this is one that I really enjoy on offense. I mean, most people use some version of this. I mean, some people like to try Ray with, a combiner with Galactic Legends, and I guess I can't blame them that much. But Ray with the two droids, I mean, she's the ultimate droid commander. It's not Lobot. People are like, haha, it's Lobot. And I'm like, no, there's actually literally
Yeah.
a good droid commander, and it's Ray.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And R2D2 and BB-8 are the most common versions. They obviously, a lot of people use this team to take out CLS or other squads which you need to outspeed and control. Ray is a really great control character.
Yep.
So definitely those kind of situations is where Ray really shines in. And if you want to use R2D2 in another squad, and if you have C3PO to spare, if you're not keeping the CLS C3PO Chupio team on defense, and you have C3PO to square, then Ray, C3PO, and BB-8 is another great squad on offense if you can afford it to take out some really, really tough squads.
Absolutely. And yeah, they're like R2, he's going to go with Kenobi sometimes. He's a busy man,
Yeah,
but like you say, like you can swap him out. You can put 3PO in there. You can actually just like put veteran Han in there, and he does some pretty cool stuff too with his stagger, and I think he has daze or something. His ability
yeah.
block on his AoE and
Ray,
stun.
Veteran Han, and BB-8, the team that you mentioned, that's actually used quite a lot for cleaning up Jedi Master Luke, who's there on his own. Because you can stagger him, you can reduce his turn
Yeah.
meter, you can apply healing immunity. That's actually a pretty popular team to take out a lone Jedi Master Luke.
I've actually done that. Come to think of it, it's a good idea, Endall. Thanks, thanks for the compliment. Now, um, okay, so here's the offensive side of what we call the social contract team, because everyone likes to place the Fin Poe team on defense, and the only counter that is just no brainer, anyone can use it, is using blank leader plus Han and Chewie. And I have Wedge here because it's more impressive to have all of the relics showing, but I know that Endel, you like Kira here as
I do,
well.
yeah. For 3v3, or for all the remods that I do, one of the remods that I always do is I speed up my Kira to about 270 or so. And then with Han and Chewie in there, you almost never let the enemy take a turn because Han goes, Chewie attacks, Kira gets extra speed, so she goes next. Her speed is effectively becomes 310, 315. She goes next. She can call someone to assist and delete someone else before they even get to move, and then she can apply stagger, and then Chewie assists, popping the stagger and reduces her turn meter to zero. So Kira is another great option to for leading Han and Chewie as well.
Absolutely, and there's a ton of them. Like Greedo will work. I know that Solo likes to use like he'll put IG and Queel with Ray on defense, and then he'll use Bando as the lead
Yeah,
here. Bando works well. All
yeah,
kinds of really good
yeah. Bam
options.
and Han and Chewie actually can even take out a gas team in 3v3. That's a pretty popular counter, I think.
Oh yeah, I did that last season too, didn't I? I kind of forgot about it. Though I will say that it's not super duper consistent. I've seen a lot of people struggle with that as well. But
Yeah,
you're right. It is
it's an
that's
option.
really
It's an
powerful.
option. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so next, this is maybe the most obvious one that people take. I mean, on offense, on defense is great too, but it's just got so much utility with Jedi Revan being able to target whoever he wants and let the others hit whoever he wants to target. With that mark, with the revive, or with the double revive mechanics, really, because Savior, this team, this team is just really nice on offense. I feel like.
It is, yeah, and especially with more people going for Jedi Master Kenobi and with a R8 Grandmaster Yoda, this team just hits so hard. And Yoda just excels so much in an assist-based team where he's called to assist on characters and keeps getting 30-40% turn meter with every basic. He just goes so much, and there's just a natural synergy that is there between these three characters that can help you take down some quite a few tough teams, including tricky ones like Padme, for example, in 3v3. If you see them and you don't have Treya or Thrawn or Vader to take them out, or you want to spend the GL, this is a very flexible squad to take out a Padme squad with high banners.
Yeah, this squad is great. I think Yeah, they're just so flexible, and they're a legitimate threat to other galactic legends as well on the board. If you have to multi-shot or something like this
Yeah.
team is the core of it. You know, Jedi Revan is just so flexible. So, um, next we have Crew with Fox, and then we kind of left the other one open. What kind of things do you like with Crew and Fox and all?
Yeah, yeah. One of the most popular teams that you see on defense is Rex fives kind of comps, which either with Paris or another clone. And Crew is really great to take against those teams because you don't want to spend something too expensive against the Rex team. A lot of people they are afraid of the Rexolate and they overspend something high and expensive against that. But Crew is a great counter against that. The main thing to keep in mind is Crew always needs to have his taunt on, and the way that you can keep his taunt on is either get Watt as the third option to give him the taunting tech, or sometimes what I like to do is if I use my Watt somewhere else, I use Gideon as the third, which helps to reduce the turn meter from the enemy before they go, and at the same time it gives them debuffs, which allows Crew to maintain his taunt and allows Executioner to do his job without getting Rexilated. So because Gideon gives out the demoralized debuff, and as long as with Crew you're using your basics every time, he will have the taunt on him at all times. So that's another option that you can use if you don't have Watt to give Crew the constant taunting tech.
Yep, and yeah, I love Watt in a lot of different places. This is one of them. It just works so well. It even works. You can do a 3 man of this in 5v5, frankly, and it works still really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bad Batch. Everyone wants to know what we're doing with them, and I know that some people are going to put them on defense, and that can work. Like you'll suck like a nest into it, and that she'll time out. But on offense, I do like the idea. Like there's some cause to question which ones you have, but they're super flexible. They get really great banners, and the only two that you really like for sure need you need Hunter because he's the leader, and then Echo is just ridiculous with them with the dispel and the days and all the different crazy things. And then the question is, do you put Tech or Wrecker with them on offense?
Yeah, and then that's a good point. I mean, definitely Hunter and Echo are the engines of this team, the two core components. Depending on who you're going up against, if you've got maybe a character, if you're going up against teams which have a Breton or stealth, who've got buffs to dispel, that can actually then that way Tech might be a good option over there because Echo ends up giving turn meter to the whole team. Tech goes next and then just goes and stuns everybody, and you can get ruling from there. But Wrecker is also another good option because his AoE does defense up. If you've got like tons of hard to reach characters and you want to do that AoE damage, Wrecker with a defense up is basically able to get through that, and you're prone to tons of AoE defense up damage.
Right.
Apart from Wrecker, the only other character who gives defense up in this team is, I think, Echo on his basic, I think, gives defense up, but that's only to one other character. Wrecker gives AoE defense up, which is why he's so great on this team.
Right, and just for those of you who don't understand the significance of defense up, we're not just pushing CGs. Defense is important. Defense that's important. It's more like if they have defense up, then they do true damage, which ignores defense. Like that's the biggest thing. So you give if Wrecker can hand them that extra piece of like then Hunter becomes so lethal. Like he does his double taps, and you're doing exposes. Like
Yeah,
it adds up real quick. So the AOE Wrecker, he stuns everyone sometimes if he has enough rage. But the biggest thing is, or whatever this, it's not rage, furious, something like that.
Furious. Yeah,
Yeah. Then everyone also gets defense up, and it's like, oh, cool, another buff, yay! But it's actually quite good, and that's why you would consider taking him instead of Tech, Like, and
yeah.
you can just melt people with it, so
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
it's pretty fancy. Next up, the tried and true Treya Triumvirate. Wow, that was some good alliteration there. Um, and then I do like we can just kind of mix and match here because Vader. usually wants Thrawn, if we're being honest. But like Treya with Nihilus and Thrawn kill Padme, they kill Jedi Revan, they kill all kinds of things that they shouldn't be able to kill, and Darth Vader is just a one-man engine of destruction, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great thing about Thrawn. I mean, you can the Treya team usually doesn't recover banners that well, unless you completely demolish the team before they get a chance to go. And Thrawn in there instead of say Scion or Nihilus allows them to recover those banners back, which might be important in an efficiency match. And then Vader by himself or with EP or maybe Watt or
Hmm.
just any other characters, even Piet or Gideon, he can wreak havoc by himself as well. So very flexible squads, using a mishmash of Empire and Sith. You can do a lot of creative stuff over there on offense.
Yeah, and that I'd feel like so. What I do on offense, a lot of times, I never have tabs for these things for offense. Uh, I kind of just like to go shopping and see what I have available, and so every once in a while I'm like, man, okay, yeah, I have Thrawn. Like Treya, Nihilus, and Thrawn solve a lot of problems.
Yep, I can agree.
Um, so next up we have Geos on offense, and you can kind of mix and match. I'm so torn. Like I do like Poggle on defense for a lot of reasons, but he is so nice every once in a while because you can get that ability block on certain squads, and like if you have ability block, you can finish off Galactic Legends sometimes.
Mm,
Like against Sith Eternal, if he can't actually do his ultimate because he is ability blocked forever,
yeah.
then like you can just finish. You can slowly take him down. Plus, you could take Bando squads down. All kinds of fun stuff with Geos.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can get a character like a healthy IG-11 or a zombie to recover protection on, then this is a guaranteed 54 as well. The other reason to keep Geos on offense is they are great to use with other GLs against GL comps. Like if you use them with SLKR or with C sometimes against a tricky Ray or a Kenobi squad. You could use them pretty much like a flex team because it gives you an extra taunting character who can be revived against a lot of these GLs who have abilities which prevent revives. So they can be pretty flexible on offense if you're pairing them up with a GL as well.
Yeah, I love Geos on offense. On defense, they're also really good because people can get stuck. But there's enough counters to them now. I will say in lower divisions, when people if you're facing someone who doesn't know how to use Vader, like Geos on defense are just money. Even Gear 8 Geos are just so ludicrous. If you're in the lower divisions, like people just get stuck on them. They don't know what to do with. Like the squad always gets an extra. Like the leadership just gives them an extra 20k health and protection or something like that, and so they did like when the battle starts over, they share all of their stats, and so the brute is brand new, and the summoned character, and so everyone stat shares that, and everyone starts anew with that leadership granted 20k or 30k whatever it is health and protection, and so the whole team, like even if it's all in red, just suddenly springs back to life in green. So it's a deceptively strong team on defense. That being said, they're just so flexible on offense. If you're okay with 51s.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I loved your idea for this team, Endall. And guys, if you watch Endall, like he's always coming up with the ideas. Like, will this actually work consistently? He likes it on defense too. But why don't you explain the Rex, Fives, and Cat? I love this actually. This is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, we're all thinking about what to do with Cat on in 3v3s, and I am strongly of the opinion that we should keep Cat with the GLs just because, if you separate Cat out from the GLs, you can make another strong team out, and you don't have to, because anyway GLs are going to get overkilled by another GL, so might as well keep your Cat away from the GL and keep her on offense or defense for some other team. And one of the teams that Cat can go really well with is this particular team, Rex 5s, and typically you keep Barris or another clone with it. But if you keep Commander Ahsoka in there and a really fast cat in there, what's going to happen is if your cat is at 350, 360, she's typically going to go first and give Shien to one of these two characters, either Rex or 5s. If she gives Shien to Rex, then your Rex immediately uses form up, and your whole team goes first, gets tenacity up, and it becomes difficult to control. If she gets Sheehan to fives, then every time that he counters back, and he's going to counter back quite a lot because of his unique. Every time he counters back, Commander Ahsoka's cooldown on her whirlwind ability, I don't remember what it's called, that gets reduced, the annihilate ability. So either way, it's going to be a tough situation for your opponent. And the teams typically used to take this particular team out is like Crew or Malak, things like which are not affected by Rex's Rexilate. All of them are going to be annihilated by Ahsoka in either case. So those kind of squads are not going to work. So you'll have to take in something really heavy and overkill it, because the extra 50% health and defense that Ahsoka will give fives, who will constantly be taunting, that's going to make fives really, really tough to get out, because people will be trying to get through fives first before they can target Rex, because otherwise Rex will start annihilating people soon. Plus, this team has got not one annihilate but two annihilate. So there's two ticking bombs in here in both Rexilate as well as Cat's Whirlwind. That's going to really get people nervous.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. So, you know, a lot of what he was saying, folks, is for if this team is on defense, which obviously we're talking
Yeah.
about offensive teams. But I think this team still has legs on offense, frankly. Like, you might not get great banner recovery. I don't think there is any. But you're still, like, if you can pilot it, man, I think you get that Annihilate from Ahsoka right away. And then, yeah, you can just cruise. So, I really like this. I like this idea. Well
Yeah.
played, Endall. All right, so here's one of my favorites. This is Mothma with Cassian and K2. Normally, in 5v5, you don't use Cassian and K2 with Mothra. Unfortunately, we've discovered that the hard way. I've made a ton of videos about it. We can dispense with that discussion. But in 3v3, this combo is so good. Like you get to do so much. Like Cassian has all the debuffs that you want. Then he can spread them with his next move to everyone else. He can, like they have a dispel with Mothra. They have days with K2. I think you can get days. Yeah, Cassian can spread the days as well. The taunt with K2. This is just one of my very favorite squads. Kill Grievous with it. Kill Hux with it. Just one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, the combination of a dispel and buff immunity, that really neutralizes tanks
Yes.
taunts quite a lot, and that's something which is so valuable in 3v3.
Yeah, this I love this team. Like 54 consistently. Nice sisters they take out. Like you said, ability block. It's super nice. Or buff immunity.
Yeah.
Ability block is also nice, but that's not part of it. So let's see. I think we've got two more squads here, and we have 2 minutes to do it in. So we've got the. I'll talk about this one, then we'll cut directly to you, then we'll cut out. So we've got Bo-Katan here with the Mandos. A lot of times you want Armorer as the third, but Armorer is the one who wants to babysit Sith Eternal most of the time in 3v3, or she can babysit other, Supreme Leader Kylo, etc. And Sabine is a pretty worthy fill-in. So Armor, what you want to do with her, you get 3 stacks of Beskar armor or ingots, put them on Canderous. Canderous taunts, and then he just, every time someone hits him, he shoots 3 times, causing other people to assist. It's a mess for the other team. Put that Zeta on him. He does crazy damage. If you don't have armor, then put Sabine Wren in and put her a little faster than Bo-Katan so that she throws her AoE stagger. Everyone's staggered, and then right away, Bo-Katan, have her like 1 speed separate, and have Bo-Katan do her AoE, which can't miss. It'll daze everyone, trigger the stagger on everyone, and then it's like restarting the turn meter for you. Like you get another turn basically. So it's a pretty neat squad, pretty underrated. I was pretty underwhelmed when I first got it, but um, it does some work. Don't try to kill good teams with it though. Kill mediocre to decent teams. Now, Endall, this is my favorite squad of yours to watch you use. So go take it away, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. Basti Wampa has always been a really good combo in 3v3s. Basti just, any team which calls Wampa to assist, because Wampa really relies on other people to call him to assist, and he gains so much benefit from using his basic that you have to use him in an assist-based team. Basti also has the advantage of giving him tons of buffs, which are really great, especially if you've got your Wampa modded and relicked up. You can use a third Jedi in there who calls assist. A lot of people like to use Oda, but these days Oda has got so many places to be in. So you could use another assist-based Jedi like Ezra or someone like that to call Wampa to assist. So yeah, tons of good options over there, and always good banners because Wampa, just like Basti, also gets protection up, and the small hits that the team might instantly get is not going to reduce their protection, and you'll still end with decent banners with this team.
Yeah, I love it, man. Super fun. And put the good Zeta on Wampa, folks, for those of you who understand the reference. So that's it for offensive teams. Obviously, there are other offensive teams out there, but these are some of our favorites, guys. I would love it in the comments. Please share what are some of your favorite teams on offense. Would love to hear your ideas. Come join the Discord server. It's in the video description, the link to discuss more. We have a specialized channel just for discussion on defensive teams and offensive teams in 3v3. We have 3K people there too. And Endall has renamed himself to Endall Damn It All over there. So it's a good time, guys. Come check it out. Otherwise, go follow Endall immediately on YouTube. Eventually, we're going to talk him into doing Twitch, but he's constantly there with us anyways, consistently doing Gambit Fight Night and stuff. So is there anything else you'd like to share with the group, Endall?
No, that's it. I think we've had a good conversation covering a lot of good teams. There's obviously going to be tons of places that we'll be able to use, mix and match characters like Cat and Gideon and even Echo for that matter. So looking forward to seeing what creative stuff the community comes up with.
Yeah, me too, man. Excited to watch you this season. And guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Wampas prevail.